The deadline to get your real ID quickly approaching.
Yes, starting next Wednesday, which is May 7th, every air traveler 18 years of age and older must have a real ID compliant ID or another acceptable form of identification, especially if you want to fly domestically. So joining us to continue the conversation is TSA Spokesperson Lorie Dankers. Lorie, nice to see you once again. We're quickly approaching this deadline after all this time.
You know, it's been 20 years in the making. Congress originally passed the Real ID law in 2005. It was based on a recommendation of the 9/11 Commission to strengthen the standards when state issue driver's license and photo IDs. And we're finally to the point of enforcing it. Talking about a long time, finally here. I'm pleased to say that enforcement will begin on May 7th, 2025 at airports across the country.
So what do travelers need to have in order to fly both domestically and internationally starting next Wednesday, May 7th? And how can they tell if their license or identification card is Real ID compliant?
Let's start with the second question first, and that is in Washington State, the Real ID compliant credential will say enhanced driver's license. If you have that, then go ahead. You'll be able to show that to the TSA officer. You're going to go through the identity verification process like you've been used to doing for several years. No problem, smooth and efficient. If your license says not for federal purposes, that you cannot show that to the TSA officer and expect that to be used to verify your identity. The good news is TSA accepts multiple forms of identification. We have the full list on tsa.gov. It's everything from military IDs, military dependent IDs, passports, passport cards, those trusted traveler cards, if you're a trusted traveler with the Department of Homeland Security, tribal IDs from federally recognized tribes. The list goes on and on. Lawful permanent resident cards work as well. So the list is long. Chances are you're all ready for enforcement to begin on May 7th, but review the list to make sure, take an inventory of what you have available so that you can use it.
So I guess, Lorie, the big question is what happens if someone shows up to the airport without a real ID or other accepted forms of ID? And I'll note, we had a reporter out at SeaTac a couple of days ago, and I think was being told by some of the passengers there that they're being asked by TSA agents, when are you planning to come back? Because you might be compliant now, but come next Wednesday, you might not be compliant based on what ID you have, just because that new law is now kicked in.
Yes. So that is the question I'm asked most often. What's going to happen to me if I don't have one? I'm going to tell you, you're a procrastinator. We've been talking about this for a long time. And so anyone who does not have the enhanced driver's license from Washington, if you're a resident in Washington or the other acceptable form of identification TSA accepts, you can expect to be delayed, and the length of the delay will be determined by the number of people who also aren't prepared for Real ID enforcement. Also, you can expect additional screening, and you risk being turned away from the security checkpoint if you cannot confirm you are who you say you are. Now, that's the process now. If you've lost your wallet, we're going to put you through a process. If you can't confirm who you are, you risk being turned away. So I'm not trying to use that as a threat. I'm just saying that's always the case if you cannot prove your identity. So keep that in mind. You need to arrive extra early if you aren't ready for Real ID enforcement. That's the message I'm trying to get to people. But keep this in mind, that your Real ID personal enforcement date is the date that you travel next. Wednesday just happens to be one of the lowest travel volume days of the week for TSA, but we know we're going to be going into Mother's Day weekend. That's a big travel time. Memorial Day at the end of the month. Of course, when school ends at the middle of to late June, people are going to be traveling. So that may be your personal Real ID enforcement date. Plan ahead now. TSA is going to continue enforcing these requirements, and departments of licensing are going to continue issuing these credentials. So go ahead, make a plan now, even after it's May 7th, so that you have what you need ahead of the date that you are planning to travel. You may have just bought yourself some time. If you're one of the people who has travel plans in the next week, look at that list of acceptable IDs so you're ready when you come to the airport.
Oh, I like thinking about it that way. So the lines have been long at licensing offices. We know that since it takes up to 10 days for the DOL to mail out the new IDs, will TSA accept those temporary copies at the airport?
We're getting a lot of questions about temporary IDs. So I can tell you that that is not an acceptable form of identification. You're welcome to bring that receipt with you, which is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with the printout that you're in the process of receiving that. If you have your old ID, bring that, but that is not going to be on its own an acceptable form of ID, but it's certainly going to be one of the steps in helping to verify your identity. But that will not be an acceptable form of ID. It will just assist in the identity verification process.
Lorie, I want to go back to the Real ID Act really quick, which is obviously prompting all this. A lot of people putting off their Real ID because there were just so many delays year after year. Is there any possibility of this getting delayed again, or is this for sure happening next Wednesday?
Well, there are a lot of questions about that. Is this going to be delayed? I'm fully confident to say that this will be enforced on May 7th. The Department of Homeland Security has directed TSA to begin enforcing it that day. They want to see this happening, and so it's going to happen. We have solid operational plans in place to make sure our checkpoint operations go efficiently, and we have all of the pieces in place to make this happen. We know that delays just allow people to procrastinate more. It's how we've got to this date in 2025 with people still not being ready. So I think probably the best strategy is to begin enforcing it, to work with people to make sure that they are looking to see what type of ID they're going to use the next time they travel. And that's what the rules are going to be moving forward.
Okay, May 7th, that's the day. Lorie Dankers with the TSA, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to see all of you. Glad to be here.
Great to see you too. Thank you, Lorie. Yeah, we're just 5 days away, and I'm thinking about, I'm going to be doing some traveling just a week after this kicks in, and I don't know, did you get yours yet?
You know, I have had mine for years.
You have?
I
Okay.
have. I'm one of those that
Good
when
for
I
you.
moved to Washington, moved back home 6 years ago, my ID had expired.
Yeah.
And so I had to renew it, and I just renewed it with enhanced driver's license. So I've been set.
Good
but I
for
know
you.
several people that still don't have it.
Yes.
And have appointments farther out,
Yeah.
and some that just waited in long lines.
Yeah. My only advice, if you haven't been able to make an appointment, is sometimes if you get to an office super early before they open and get in line. That was the case with me in Wenatchee a week and a half ago. I was the first one in line and literally got in and out of their office within 10 minutes. Not everybody has that, but just something to think about if you need to try to get one before next week.
Or get out of the city too.
That's true.
Yeah.